welcome to Youth Hub. And joining me is Sharon Ajei, my co-presenter. Welcome, Sharon Ajei. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, in today's world where we often have this fear of missing out, we often do not know how to always say no.
Exactly.
All the time. We always have this yes culture. You want to say yes, probably because you see people catching up on social media, things are happening, and you feel like you should jump up on every opportunity as a young person. I mean, in quotes, young people. How do you feel about the culture of always saying yes? And was there a time you ever made a decision of yes and you didn't feel like it? And what was that? All right.
Before I dive right into the time where I always say yes and all of that, I would say that boundaries were being set by our parents while we were young. But growing up as adults, we need to learn how to set our own boundaries.
Yes.
It definitely cannot be comfortable.
Same, yes.
It's not even comfortable. Same, yes. But you have to, if you love yourself enough, you need to understand that you need to set healthy boundaries for yourself. While growing up, I think I was a child that always says yes to everything.
To people, yeah, I had that feeling too.
I would always say yes, maybe because I don't want them to feel, just to put me aside.
Or
I wanted them to
selfish.
Exactly. I just wanted them to love me for exactly and all of that. So it was a regular something for me. Even when my parents noticed, my siblings, they will tell me, you don't have to say yes to everything. You need to understand that when you're not comfortable with something, you need to also say no. But I didn't understand what point they were coming from, what stance they were coming from. I was still a child. But growing up, I realized that people are so selfish that regardless of how many years you say to them, it's just not, they're not satisfied.
Is it selfish or entitled?
Well, they are entitled, and also I can say they're also selfish, because why would you want someone to always say yes to you
all the time?
And sometimes you might even know that this person is not comfortable with it, but because you know this person is a people's pleaser, in quotes, you just feel like I can manipulate this person, I can have my way with this person, because I know I would always get a yes. I don't want to even go into details of how many times I said yes when I wasn't even comfortable about it, but it was a very unhealthy amount of time. And I'm super glad that we're talking about this, because I know there are lots of persons still battling with saying yes. Young persons.
Because feel like every opportunity you have to grab. People often say, oh, this opportunity comes but once. But funny enough, opportunities don't come once.
Of course, it doesn't come once. You get opportunity over and over again. And I think people need to understand the fact that people appreciate and respect people that set healthy boundaries. They just know that Hosanna would not go this lane. Hosanna would never say yes to this. Hosanna also always says yes to this when she's comfortable. People respect that.
I'm comfortable too, because most times it's not about saying yes. It's about, are you comfortable enough at that time? Yeah. Is your mental capability strong enough to accept whatever the person has to say?
Exactly.
So emphasis on comfortable.
Exactly. And people need to know that you can't build a healthy relationship if you do not know how to say no to some things. Now, what is a healthy relationship? We are both friends. I know what you like, you know what I like, I know what you dislike, you know what I dislike. Now, when we start building a relationship whereby you don't care about what I like or dislike, you just expect me to always, it's just all about me, then that's not an healthy relationship. That's an unhealthy relationship. And I know majority of persons want to build good relationship, long-lasting relationship. You can't have those kind of relationship if people do not know your boundaries, because we are human beings. You are not in my mind. You do not know what I like. You don't know what I love. So I need to let you know. I need to show it. I need to be assertive to let you to be informed about what I appreciate and what I do not appreciate. But when you're in the category of people's pleasing, people's pleaser, then you just expect people to trample on you, expect people to step on you, because they don't care. In humans, we are selfish in nature, and people know people need to understand that we are selfish in nature. So you need to understand and love yourself. It comes from a place of love. When you love yourself so much, you just know that I do not want to hurt myself. Just like you would not want to hurt a friend by telling her no. You also do not want to hurt yourself by telling yourself no to something that you would want a yes for. You understand? So you have to stem from a place of love. Love yourself first. If you do not love yourself and you're always saying yes, and you feel like, oh, I love her, then it's a lie. You're contradicting yourself, because it shows that you're more like worshiping this other person. Yes. And it's really, really low of you. It's really, and that is where low self-esteem stems from.
Now come to think about boundaries. You mentioned boundaries. How can we have good boundaries soft boundaries in our relationships. I mean, the cost of saying no. Let's talk about the cost of saying no and the boundaries, because some people would always want you to say yes, and when you start inflicting your boundaries, it now seems like an outside energy. Why is she now behaving like this? So, what are soft ways you can say no or inflict your boundaries without it coming off to the person like, okay, you're being selfish, or you're not being considerate or kind to them?
You know, it all boils down to your actions and words.
Okay.
They said, what you don't start what you cannot finish. Most times it's very difficult for us to, be assertive about what we want, to let people know that this is what I stand for and this is not what I stand for. It's difficult when you've not started it from the, onset. If I meet someone today and we are friends, of course, you won't be rude to that person, except if you are mentally deranged. You would not be rude to that person. But the person, the person can actually see your mood, that's why we have futures in our face. I can just not be happy and you just see me in a very quiet mood. You don't see me smiling.
What about people that know how to, cover the cloak of their mood? Because, well, so to say, maybe I'm that kind of person.
Okay.
I can be very sad or very angry. Okay, no, not angry. I think when I'm angry, it shows I can be very subtle about it. But what about people that don't show that, they're angry or they're sad or something?
Okay, well, that is where the place of conversation comes in. You need to learn how to have good conversation. That's an attribute of an adult. Only a child would, flare up and you are all around the place. You need to know how to have healthy conversations if you want to keep a healthy relationship. Because not everybody reads mood. I might see, just like say, you might cover it up. I might even act up and you see my mood, but you don't understand why I'm that way. But when you have good, healthy conversations, it helps people to know your placement, where what you appreciate and what you do not appreciate. So I think people need to understand that first. You learn how to have conversations. Now, good conversation is different from, confrontation. People, most times, we have people that do confrontation, not confrontational, other than having a very good conversation. When you're having a conversation, just like we are having a conversation now, there is no, I'm not raising my tone. There's no anger. You can even feel that vibe. You can feel that energy around, that this is a good conversation. But when that's why they say don't bottle in your anger, because when you bottle in your anger and you go to someone to tell the person, I don't like this, you just you flare up even without you knowing. And of course, when you bring fight to somebody, you don't expect them to sit and fold their hands. They will definitely return same energy. Exactly. So I think the first thing, first step to having people understand your boundaries is having conversations, because people cannot read. Some people cannot read emotions. They can't read the room. They can't even read the room. Exactly. Exactly. So you need to let them know, so that you hold them by their, you can hold them by their words, or rather by the fact that you told them that this is what I don't like. So by the time they repeat it again, you can be able to tell them, or really even confront them. You can actually confront someone without bringing up fight. I told you about this and you are doing it again. I do not like it. That's you being assertive. That's you being confrontational. You're being assertive, but you're not bringing up bad energy and bad vibe to fight and all of that.
There's something about accountability. I'd like us to elaborate more on accountability, because I feel like most adults, young adults, youth, they fear accountability, especially in their ordeals these days with people, some people with their managers. Nobody wants to take the blame, or nobody wants to, oh, I'm sorry I did this. Just very few people would want to, say, oh, I'm sorry this thing happened, or I'm sorry, or whatever it is. Let's talk about accountability. How can we as young people take accountability for the things we've done? I mean, from other people's perspective. It cannot be from your perspective all the time. Of course. You cannot be seeing things. You cannot be having this echo chambers kind of mentality of you're not open to other people's perspective. This is the way I see it, and that's the way it should be. Exactly. How can we make people understand accountability? Because I think it also stems from accountability. People don't know how to take accountability for what they do. Yeah. Well,
it takes a big heart. It takes a huge, mature person, mentally mature, emotionally mature. It's not just about the age. It's not about the body, and you need to be extra mature to be able to, be account for, or rather have accountability.
Have matured emotional intelligence.
Exactly. Because offenses will rise. The Bible says that offenses will definitely rise. Now, how do you accept? How do you take the fact that you're not the offender, or rather, you're not the offendee. You are now the offender. Yes. So how do you take it? You need to understand that, like I said, people will step on your toes, and you definitely step on people's toes. You understand? So it takes a big heart and a mature person. If you've not gotten to that level, then I think you still have a lot to work on your emotions and you as a person. You know, you need to be able to say sorry. You need to be able to understand that in as much as I want respect is reciprocal. If I don't give this person respect, I definitely am not going to get it back. Then you need to understand that emotionally, because you will not want people to hurt your emotions. So why not you not also hurt people's emotions? You know, there's something people usually say that really offends me. They'll be like, no, be that small thing where I do, or is it not that small thing I did to her that she's angry? No, you are not in the position to tell someone where and how to get hurt. Oh my no, please, you don't do that. Oh my God. Immediately you start acting that way, then you are terrible, and emotionally you are a low person. You are a low person, and you need to work on yourself. Please, accountability, you need to, it's something that you have to do. It's a personal, you know, it's not something that can be taught. Yes. You have to take that step personally on yourself. Exactly. Just know the way you want people to listen to you and to react to the way you say you are hurt to something is the same way you should also accept people and, you know, acknowledge the fact that they are hurt by whatever you say.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back to continue on this conversation. Welcome back from that break, and in case you're joining us, this is Youth Hub, and Sharon, Ajei and I have been talking about mastering how to say no and knowing when to say no in a culture where we often say yes to almost everything, thinking that everything is an opportunity and all of that. Welcome back. So Sharon, you know, there's this the polite ways of saying no. How do you even know when to say no? What's a polite way you've said no in the past, and how do you think you said it without offending someone? Because you know, some people always take offense when you just tell them no.
Okay. Well, first I'll start off by saying there are some persons that would always say a no is no matter how you say that no, they just feel it's not polite. Right. You know, they can manipulate you into thinking that saying no to them shows rudeness, or saying no to them shows that you don't care, or something of sort. So I would not say there's any polite way of saying no. Yeah, right. I'm not saying you should go and shout no. I'm not gonna do that or something. But no matter how people make it, because no matter how you say that no matter how polite you are with no, people will still make you feel like you are not supposed to say that. No. Okay. You're not supposed to say that. So there's no particular way of saying no. If you do not want to be verbal about it, you don't want to come out and say no plainly, you could use your body language. You know, you could be assertive with your body language.
But you know, most people don't even understand body language. When you're trying to show them that, okay, this thing, I don't want it to happen, I want to say no, they just don't read the room. Maybe until you say, no, I don't want it.
You are verbal with it. Well, you see, most times people that cross our boundaries and do not respect our boundaries, rather, are people close to us.
And sometimes they don't even have boundaries as well.
Exactly. There are people close to us. So I want to believe that if anybody is close to you, that person should know how you operate. That person should know how you are. Except if the person is really doesn't care, then I don't think that's a relationship. I think that is, well, you target something else. Yes. So when, like I said, people that usually would, you know, bridge or cross our boundaries are people that know us well and people we relate to on a daily basis or weekly basis or whatever. These are people very close to us. So how do we go about, you made mention of something that people do not know body language. When someone is close to you and someone has been with you for a while, they should be able to tell that this is how this person reacts if the person is not comfortable. Things, exactly. Yes. So I don't think there's anything like nobody knows. But yes, if you meet someone, you know, for the first time, you don't expect them to know your body language. Yeah. But over time, when I'm with you, I should know that this is the way you do your things when you are not happy. You understand? So I feel if you do not want to be verbal, because some people they don't like that no, just straight up no. Even when it's backed up with, you know, explanation, and you're trying to let them understand why you do not want to do what they want you to do, they still feel like, oh, you're not very nice, or you're being selfish or something. And people even use those words, especially when you are not assertive enough, you don't stand your ground. You begin to feel like, I think what I did is not right or something. Yes, they manipulate you or something, and they just make you feel saying that no at that time is totally wrong. Well, like I said, you could be, when you're saying no, don't be confrontational, don't be too, don't bring, yes, rigid, don't bring bad vibes, don't be too loud about it. Your no should be no, just be assertive. There's difference between being assertive and being too loud. Let your no be no. You could use body language, like I said. Anybody close to you, anybody that relates to you on a daily basis should know how you operate. They should know how your body language is when you are not comfortable with something that you've done or something you've asked them to do. So, Ozana, your question again, because I think the right answer to that question is that there is no particular way to say a no. Exactly. There's no sweet way of saying no, because when you're telling someone no, you don't expect the person to be glad and be excited you are saying a no. So there's no nice way to say no. That is why it's uncomfortable and it's difficult to make that decision.
All right. I just also want you to know that when you say no to the wrong things, you are actually saying yes to the right things. Exactly. And now finally, before we wrap up on today's episode, what's one area of your life where you think you need to start saying no more often? Let's say you're talking to your junior siblings out there, the young adults who are still coming up, who are still having FOMO and still not strong enough. Some people are not really strong enough to start saying that, have this fear. Well, let me not say no to this person, or maybe they will take this opportunity or privileges away from me. Is it in work, relationships, social events, or even personally? What are those areas that young people need to start saying no?
All right. Well, people are different, right? People, boundaries are different. What I would say is my boundary is not the same thing you say is your boundary. But one of the things, or rather, what I would say to a younger one or a person that is listening to me now, is that you should say no when you don't feel comfortable in a place. Maybe someone invites you to a place and you've been there, you weren't comfortable, and they want you to also be there. Maybe it's just the girls, just an hangout or something. You should be comfortable telling them, no, I don't like being in that place. I do not want to go there. Be in such spaces. No, don't feel like, oh, if I say no, my girls or my friends or whoever is going to be, they will not be happy with me. They want us to vibe together. You need to say no when you don't feel comfortable in a place. Me personally, I do not like when people use insulting words at me. I don't care if you're using it as joking, like if you're joking about it, or you are, people can actually joke with insultive words. It's normal. Now I'm saying, that's why I said we are different. People are different. Boundaries are different. I do not like it. So for some of you that probably you also do not like it, and you have friends around that do that, you need to let them know, I'm not comfortable with that. You can use it on any other person, but please do not use it on me. I'm not comfortable. Even if they do it in a joking way. Some will tell you, no, be just play. Or that's small play. I was just joking with you. That is how they start. If you cannot say no to something as small as that, when you get to a bigger, when you get to something bigger, you would also not be able to say no, because it starts little by little by little. Because definitely, as we are growing in life, your workplace, your career, even in marriage, you would have to say no. You would have to say no. So you have to learn it now, so it will be easier for you when you get to bigger places.
All right, thank you so much, Sharon Ajei, for coming on this program and enlightening us more on the power of saying no in a culture where we always often feel the need to say yes, yes, yes to every opportunity. To wrap up, remember this saying: saying no isn't about shutting people out or being difficult. It's about creating space for what truly matters in your life. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, something that doesn't sit with you, something that doesn't work with you, that doesn't resonate with who you are just simply saying yes to your goals, yes to your peace of mind, yes to your growth, yes to your boundaries. Let's make a pact today to start embracing the power of no. I want you to always say no more often, because I feel most people are not saying no enough, and that's the reason for some failed marriages. I don't know, a lot of things happen when you're not saying no at the time you're supposed to say no. And who knows, that might just be the beginning of something amazing for you, because you said no to something and you don't want that thing to happen again. You've put an end to it.
Exactly.
And that works. So
Please let me add a little to what you said.
Yes.
Don't feel sad, or don't feel hurt, or what would I fix there,
After
for saying no.
Yes.
Because we have some persons that would gaslight you into letting you know that, saying
You're
that no, you weren't saying
no.
yeah, exactly.
Why did you say no?
And even if you want to
Yes.
say no, why did you say it that way? No, you have the right to say no whenever you want to say no. And of course, we've said it before, it stems from loving yourself. You have to love yourself enough to not let anything that is not comfortable with you stay with you, or be around places that you're not comfortable. So please do not feel sad, do not feel a type of way saying no to something you do not agree with. It is your no, and it is your right.
Sharon said it is your no. It is your no. Remember, Sharon said it is your no. Okay, finally, before we wrap up on today's episode, you already know how we vibe, that we play some little games before we go. So, Sharon, let's do this. Let's play some games.
Okay.
Drum rolls. Okay, Sharon, would you rather read a book or sleep?
You want to expose me?
We listen.
Oh my God. We don't judge. Okay, see. I can read a book, but when sleep comes, I'm off, man. I'm off.
Let me sleep. Little Peppa Pig. All right,
God.
Sharon. All right, tell us 2 truths and a lie about yourself.
Okay, 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't tell us 2 lies and 1 truth.
Okay.
People can be very.
Okay, 2 truths. Two truths. Okay,
lie,
okay. I'm a Ghanaian.
Okay.
I have 6 siblings.
Okay.
My dad is a minister.
I don't even know which one is the lie. It's like 6 siblings. Ghanaian.
Okay, I think I did 2 lie and a truth. That game is technical. I'm so sorry.
Technical. You guys come to my rescue. For the first time, I'm going to fail. I'm such a good guesser. You don't have 6 siblings.
Okay.
Okay. Is that the lie?
That's the lie. I actually have 2 lies there. I'm so sorry. I didn't get it right, but forgive me, please. So no, I don't have 6 siblings, and of course, my dad is not a minister.
Because if he was, we'd be bound somewhere in Bahama.
But who knows? Who knows? Hey.
But you're a Ghanaian, so
Of
that's
course.
the only truth there.
Yes, that's the only
so
truth.
we had a Ghanaian on set today, you guys. All right, one more before we go.
Okay.
I like to ask this random question. I know you're kind of Nigerian right now. I know you're Ghanaian, but whatever. So would you rather do Christmas in Lagos or Christmas in New York?
You said you what?
New York.
They don't think that twice, nigga. You what? My girl, I'm packing my loads, man. I'm packing my luggages. I'm moving.
And you're going up.
ASAP.
First flight.
I will do more than Christmas. You will don't try and take me. I will not cover. You will find me tired.
Girl. So, are you the night person, or are you the night crawler, or the kind of person?
I think I'm a night crawler. Like, I literally would
Finally,
do anything.
I found my person, because what am I doing on the day with so much sun and applying sunscreens?
Nah, night is perfect.
Perfect. You just imagine someone driving you around town at night, you're seeing
the street lights and no. Night is beautiful. Night is beautiful.
All right, and that's a wrap. Thank you for joining me on this important conversation. Until next time, stay tuned to yourself and keep creating boundaries that help you thrive better in every environment. So thank you very much, Sharon Ajei, for joining me on today's conversation. It was truly enlightening and inspiring. And this is me saying bye for now.